What's going on, YouTube? Appreciate the love. This video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of the things that I saw during my time in law enforcement. But before I continue, I do want to make it clear. I do want to say, I'm not a cop. I'm not in law enforcement. All these stories, everything that I talk about from 2017, 2018, 4 or 5 years ago, all these stories, everything on here, entertainment purposes. If you want to become a cop, if you're trying to get into the academy and you come across my videos and ask me for help, ask me for advice, I got no issue helping you. But I just really did want to make that clear and just let people know, because I know people are new to the channel and this and that. So I'm not in law enforcement. I have no plans of getting into law enforcement. I went through that, enjoyed it, had my ups and downs, whatever. And here I am, new reason. Another thing, there may be law enforcement, there may be cops that see my channel, see my videos, and be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's lying. He didn't went through that. All this shit is true. Until the day somebody comes on here and calls me a liar, I'll stop making these videos. But everything is true. Everything I went through is my personal experience. Shit I was around. I was a cop for 2 years. A little less than 2 years, to be honest with you. A little less than 2 years. But the shit that I learned in Atlantic City, I promise you, the experience that I got in Atlantic City is a lot more than a lot of guys get in 15, 20, 25 years in smaller towns that have nothing going on for them. I promise you that. And it's nothing to brag. It's nothing to sit here and be like, you know, because there's crazy ass shit anywhere in that job, no matter where you at. But when I do tell these stories and when I do talk about this shit, I'm not going to let people ever sit here and tell me what I'm talking about is bullshit or it never happened, or I'm not doing that shit. All right, so to start off, unfortunately, I have seen people who were murdered. I remember seeing my first murder victim. I was probably 2 months into my FTO. Just came onto the shift and we got the call. Well, the murder had happened prior to me coming into the shift. So I remember going to the roll call. Sergeant told us what was going on, explained the whole situation, and said, hey, everybody from Charlie's shift, we're going to go over to, I think it was Virginia Avenue, and we're going to take over the scene, because the officers from Bravo unit, they were there all day. They took over, they were there from the beginning, and we had to go relieve them. So I remember getting in the truck, we drive over there, get into the scene, and see a bunch of yellow tape, see a bunch of officers around. And I remember seeing the body. I remember walking right past the body laying on the ground. Me and my FTO, we walk over to the sergeant. Sergeant, you know, they're chit-chatting for a little bit. FTO says to me, he's like, all right, Rivera, go over there. Stand over there. Don't let anybody pass the tape. Don't let nobody go by you unless they're an officer. Just stand there. Nothing you got to do. We just gotta secure the crime scene. Because we were waiting at that time. We were waiting for like the crime scene people to come in and take the body and all that shit like that. So there was this whole dilemma going on with that. So we had to just wait on the scene. You know, so I'm literally just standing there, and as I'm standing there, there's really not much to do. So I'm just kind of observing everybody. I'm watching the family members, and that was some hard shit to watch. That was really sad seeing the pain that these family members were going through. Like, I remember standing there, and the father, first he made the phone call, and I'm watching him on the phone screaming out, they killed my son. These niggas killed my son. What the, like, crying and screaming. I remember, you know, a little bit after that, there was another officer. He was standing a little bit next to me, and at some point, he made eye contact with the father. But it wasn't no, you know, ill intent. It was just regular eye contact shit. Like, we're just standing there, and the father's like, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, he got like 5 feet away, and he's like, what the fuck are you looking at? Officer didn't say nothing to him. He kind of just looked away. The father walked away, and I'm thinking like, oh shit, like, what the fuck? Because at the time, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna tell that man? Like, you gonna really fight that man for getting it? Like, I was just kind of like, shit, I probably would have done the same thing. Like, my bad. Because there's nothing you can really say to a family member at that time. You can see somebody, you see a mother or a father talking about, they just killed my son. My son is dead. They just killed, it's like, You can't really say nothing. So I remember that shit. Like, I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I remember, there was another time, another murder that I saw. Not that I saw, but there was another body that was found where me and my partner were sitting in a parking lot on the corner of Tennessee Avenue and Pacific. We're sitting there. We get a call from some employee from, I believe he was working at a little hotel right across the street from the parking lot we was at, and he had called reporting something going on. Like, I don't remember the exact call. But it wasn't for a murder. It wasn't for anything that we were walking up that we ended up finding. So the call comes out on the radio, and we're like, oh, we're right here. We walk over. We don't even drive it. We walk over. We meet up with the employee. He takes us to the back alley of the hotel, and we're walking around. And we meet up with another officer and his partner. So there's 4 of us. There's like this dark corner of an alley, and we just see a body laying there. The body's laying face down, like hunched over, pressed up against the wall. And you get a closer look. I see the brains on the wall. You see a whole lot of blood around the area. I saw like a big ass. It was like a cinder block, or not a cinder block. It was like a big ass rock, pretty much. Like somebody got their head smashed in. And it was so bad at the time because we're just assuming that it was a man, because we're thinking like that's some, like, I don't know. We were assuming it was a man, but the face you couldn't really tell because the damage was so bad. Like it was fucked up. Come to find out, it was a woman. A lot of street. It's fucked up. This is real. That shit is fucked up. Drugs is bad. I remember my FTO, going to my first overdose, and drugs. I wasn't new to drugs. I went to high school with I know a lot of people that were on drugs. I knew people that went to go into rehab that had overdosed before. I wasn't no stranger to drugs, but obviously when you are in law enforcement, you kind of get a different aspect of it. You kind of get a different. So I remember getting the call. We're on FTO, and it's a little motel right over the little Albany Bridge. I forget what that shit's called. Right next to that bar, the Wonder Bar. I can't think of what it's called, but it was a report of an overdose. So we get the call. We get on the scene. We get up with the other officers. The ambulances. I don't even think they were there yet. We get there. We go upstairs, and the girl, young girl, I ended up looking at her license. She was like, at the time, she was more like 95, 96. So young ass girl. On the ground, face is blue, like just completely blue, not breathing. And I'm looking at her like, yo, this girl is really about to die right here. Like is she dead? Like at some point, one of the officers makes a fist, rubs his chest, does some shit like that, and I just see her like, and she comes back to life. And I'm looking at her like, yo, what the fuck? I'm thinking like, this shit is crazy. This shit is wild. You see fucked up people on drugs. You see young people on drugs. You see old people on drugs. You see people that you went to school with, or from high school or your childhood years that are on drugs, that you end up arresting them, male and female. I know girls that I locked up for drugs, of trying to steal shit out of the little stores on the boardwalk. And they're hookers and shit, and they're on drugs. They're all fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Drugs is bad, man. The epidemic is bad. Drugs are bad. In Atlantic City, you deal with a lot of homeless people. That was a big thing that we were dealing with at the time, where we had to clean up the streets, and we're walking through the alley and find this guy sleeping here. We're going through this building at this time, and people are sleeping in the closet, and we're like, yo, you can't sleep here. Going up on the boardwalk in front of the memorials and all that shit, the boardwalk hall, people can't sleep here. Like it was that type of shit. But then you gotta understand, like a lot of those homeless people, they're on drugs as well. So you gotta deal with it accordingly. Atlantic City's a very big vacation spot. A lot of families come out there. So with a lot of families, a lot of children. You would be surprised how many fucking parents lose their kids on the boardwalk, on the beach, or in that. You would be, bro. It's crazy on just 4th of July, not even on just regular holidays, just on a regular fucking Saturday evening. You getting multiple calls for found a missing child here, or somebody found is here with this missing kid. They can't find their parent. Blah, blah, all the fucking time, and it's like, bro, parents are inside gambling. They're in the casinos, or they're at the bar, or it's crazy. You know, sometimes them kids will go in the water, and unfortunately, yeah, it happens. It happens, bro. You know, you get a lot of burglaries and robberies. You're on vacation, and maybe you just want some money at the blackjack table. You go out, smoke a cigarette on the boardwalk, you may get robbed because you're out there flashing money, and because you're not really being smart. You're thinking, hey, everything is nice over here on the boardwalk. It's nice. It's not that nice everywhere. Like, there's certain, I remember I would be working on the boardwalk, and I would be talking to people, and I would explain to them, and like just regular chit chat shit about the city. And I would tell them, yeah, just be careful, like going 3 blocks down that way, because, and they'll be like, wow, I'm like, it's bad over there. Like, there's some shady shit that takes place over there. And they would look at me like so confused and be like, oh my God, I thought Atlantic City was just a boardwalk. I thought it was just a boardwalk and the casinos. Like, they're like, people actually really live out here? I'm like, yes. That's why I'm explaining to you, because some people that live out here, they wait for people like you to be so fucking stupid and to go and flash your money out after you won some money on the poker table. There are people like that. Everywhere you go, there's somebody like that. You know, there were a lot of times people get their shit stolen from the beach. You go to the beach for the day, you go out with your girl, your family, whatever, put your shit down on the sand, you go in the water, you come back 20 minutes later, your shit is gone. All the time. There's people that wait for people like, not you, hopefully not you, but people that aren't that conscious and that thoughtful, where it's like, all right, you can't just be leaving mad shit out here like that. You shouldn't be leaving all your shit, or just leave somebody with your shit. Here's a quick story. One day, me and my partner we're on the boardwalk. We get a report of a family reporting stolen shit. The shit got stolen from the beach. So we're talking. So we go meet up with them. Spanish-speaking family from like New York, right? Now my Spanish is broken. I understand it, but to speak it, I kind of gotta like maneuver a little bit. But I could get my point across. So to translate, I could translate. So I'm talking to them and I'm explaining to them, and they're explaining to me. You know, we came here, we took the bus down. We have a little baby with us. The baby was a couple months old. We had the diaper bag. We had bus passes in the bag. We had our wallet. We had everything was in the bag, and it was stolen. Baby is sitting there with just a diaper on, no shirt, just a diaper, and they're crying. They're stressed out, and they're like kind of like. So me and my partner, we go into one of them little stores on the boardwalk. We buy the baby a T-shirt, you know, little pair of shorts. We buy it for them. We call our sergeant. We tell the sergeant what's going on. We take the family over to the bus terminal. We explain to the people at the bus terminal, like, look, these people, they came down here, they got a baby, the shit was stolen, they want to get back home, they don't got their bus pass, yada yada. So we work something out with the bus people at the bus terminal to give them a credit and get them where they need to go. But this shit happens all the time, where it's like, man, people just be leaving their keys in their bags. And why I talk to you guys, that's why I talk to you guys about this shit in my videos. You got fights. People get drunk and fight on the boardwalk all the time. They I don't know why. I don't know why somebody wants to get drunk and slip on that goddamn slippery boardwalk and get put on World Star or whatever it is now. I don't know why people be doing that shit, but it happens all the time. People go to the club, they get drunk. You want to fight. You want to go fight in front of valet. People want to fight. Pacific Avenue, people want to fight. Fighting everywhere. You're going to deal with that type of shit, bro. It was a fun time. It was a fun little less than 2 years of my life. Like I said, that experience is something that I take with me every day, everywhere. I would never forget it, because that shit is real life. It's not the Academy. It's not a movie. It's real. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not going to let anybody ever discredit anything that I went through. Because even when I was working, there was never not one person that said, yo, he's not squared away. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not a good partner. He's not the... Never, not one person. I'm confident saying that. Speaking of movies, though, y'all stay tuned for the new Reason film. I promise you guys, this is something I really want to get into. I really want to start. But that's going to be on another video, another topic. New Reason, films, skits, everything. I'm going to put this shit out. Appreciate the love, man. I can't do it without you guys. Hit the button, share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, catch you on the next one. Peace.